Instagram, and TikTok.
When? Hi, good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Alrighty, so tonight is extra special. We do have three persons, but it's not the regular three, but I will go first. This is your girl Lola alongside.
You never said who you're going to go second.
Counterclockwise.
Exactly.
Okay, all right. Alongside your boy T to the E to the J.
Alongside.
Filling in for Hennessy, it's just Janelle.
Yes,
It's just.
she's filling in for Hennessy tonight. So Henny, we miss you.
I'm trying to do you proud, girl.
Yes, definitely. So before we began the show, I feel a little overwhelmed because I have a certain class. I have to deal with this.
This.
Would you all like to let the audience know what I'm talking about?
I think you should go ahead. I mean, it's not the first time you're on the show,
Yeah, but I'm lost right now.
but I think it's the first time somebody recognized,
I recognized, yes.
that sitting in front of her are two persons who graduated in the year 2000.
So I have to deal with the ESHS class.
BVI,
Thank you very
high
much.
school.
I mean, even though, at some point we're knocking off the B, but, for what it is,
Yes, this is the class of 2000. Everybody talks about this class of
course.
2000. So to know that I am actually alone with the class of 2000, God
You in
be
good
with
company.
me.
real good company.
All right, so I know that I'm going to get the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth tonight.
So
So
help
help
us
you
God.
God.
You see what I deal with? Do you see what I have to deal with? Oh my God. All right. So we welcome you to our podcast. We are here where we try to be here each and every Sunday between the hours of 7 and something. 8:30-ish.
Till closing time.
9 o'clock. All right. And today we'll be tackling a very tough but important topic.
Right.
It is very, very important. And what is it?
Well, the topic tonight is the blame game, the culture of playing victim. Yes, it is. And for those who are going to call in, our number to call is 284-544-6677. Again, that is 284-544-6677.
All right. So I'm hoping that my technicians in the back would, from time to time, make sure that number goes up, because I've had a lot of persons who be like, oh, I was going to call in. I was going to say something, but I didn't know the number. So from time to time, we try to say it, but I know that the technician will place the number. I'm speaking it into existence. But I know that the technician will place that number from time to time, because we need to let us know if I am talking
Wakataka.
Wakataka. All right. So if I'm talking a Wakataka, even if you agree with what I'm saying, or you have to how to put it, break a tie because somebody in the room does not want to give an answer. Make sure you call in, as Henny would say, any form of I-ness. So iMessage, all the different forms, FaceTime, etc., etc. Please make sure that you let us know what your thoughts are. We are not perfect. We are just here having an open conversation. And tonight, we are literally, I spoke to them briefly before we began, but I just want us to have a serious conversation. Just pay, like there's no mics in front of us. Let's just talk. Because trust me, I can do that with Chrissy very easily. Very, very easily. So let's see. Let's go straight into it. So, remind us of a topic again.
The blame game, the culture of playing victim.
So, let me ask a question before we begin. Do you find that that's very common?
Yes.
Has it become a common something for people today?
To blame,
whether it's in personal relationships, in their family, at their work life, society on a large, do you feel that people, that's the number, that's the number that they play? You think it's comforting for them?
It's the go-to, I would say. It's the easiest thing to do, to blame somebody else. I think it's through this show I came to understand the term narcissistic.
Oh, yes.
So, or narcissist.
Yes.
So, at some point, not taking responsibility, not, just blaming somebody else, not taking that level of accountability, it is quite common.
It is very common.
It's more than common, and unfortunately, like the topic was talking about a culture of...
Kiss the mic a little bit? Yeah. Bring it towards you. There you go.
It was a culture of
Playing victim.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, the culture has created the victims. All the participation trophies and, the pats on the head for doing what you should do. So we've created people who are inherently victims. So then when you try to correct them, you are automatically wrong.
And they're good at it. Quite good at it. I think a lot of people deserve a Grammy.
Okay.
They deserve whatever
awards
that is out there for that. Quite good at playing the victim.
All right. So we're using that word, playing the victim. I'm going to ask you in a bit. So gather your thoughts. What does that mean? Because I want us to first and foremost understand, guys, we do have real victims out there.
We do.
Okay. So we're not dismissing. We don't think that everybody who... That's why we say we have to define what's playing victim actually means. We know that real victims do exist, whether it's injustice or some form of fashion along that line. We know that they do exist, but this show is not pertaining to that. Okay, I want persons to understand that this conversation is not denying that victims exist. Instead, we're going to be looking at people who kind of use it as a everyday, It's like, it's, as teachers say, it's their go-to. They overuse it for so many different reasons, and we're gonna get into that tonight. So what does playing victim actually mean? How we use it very loosely, but I want to make sure that no matter, because you're listening to us on YouTube, so no matter where you are in the world, we want to make sure we're using this term and everybody understands what we mean by playing victim. Anybody can jump in.
Not really. I like to piggyback.
Okay. When it comes to playing victim, someone who plays the victim is someone who knows the difference between right and wrong, who knows that they are currently wrong, but chooses not to take any blame for that because it's easier to cry and receive sympathy for being wrong.
All right. You want to piggyback?
That's it right there. That's it right there.
Yeah.
Nowhere else to go.
It's not my fault. It's your fault. It's not my fault. It's my daddy's fault.
Right.
There's always someone but them.
You know?
They know better, but it is easier to just deflect.
Right.
Correct.
There's another part they played.
So let's because we kind of spoke very briefly this week, and we broke down how we're gonna tackle this topic tonight. And one of the things that I want us to get into is what are the reasons, first and foremost, why do people choose to play victim? Why do people? What are the reasons that some people would play victim?
I'm going to just jump out and say sometimes it's a learned behavior. You grow up seeing your parents do the same thing. It is easier from that stance that it's a learned behavior. Not only that, you end up playing it because you got away with it so many times. No one has recognized the BS. No one has called you out on that BS. And it becomes easy for you to do just that. So when you can see the patterns in your life, and when no one holds you accountable for it, and you get away with it, those are just two of the reasons why people end up playing that.
To piggyback off of what TJ is saying, the learned part, nobody likes to be punished. So admitting you're wrong, or, that comes with a level of being punished, being corrected. So if you learn from a very, young age that if I shirk the blame, or if I cry and I, become diminutive, I shrink myself, and become the victim, that nobody's going to blame me, nobody's going to punish me. It is something that they're going to grow up with.
Yeah, I agree. But for me, I think one of the main reasons people play victim, but I think one of the reasons people play victim is just for attention and validation, as far as I'm concerned. I know I'm responsible, but it's like, I like the poor me. Sympathy. That's what the person is thinking. I like the poor me. So let's say, for instance, my wife left me. This gentleman, my wife left me. They're not going to say, I had a part to play in why, my wife left me, or why my husband left me, etc., etc. They would basically tell the story to make them feel like poor me. Y'all feel bad for me. So it's like you tell the story in a way, and I'm telling you, it even happens at work. Like you tell the story in a way where people will empathize.
You get people drawn in to the sad story. You get people on your side. Yeah. You might even get people fighting on your behalf. So you build the story, and you build now a fence of persons who can come to your aid, who can now say, no man, X is the case. But I always tell people there are more than one side to the book, more than one side to the story.
Correct.
But you're right. But
you don't think that's addictive though?
Like for some people who like that stuff, yeah.
Who loves the attention, because it's like, no, you're gonna be like, man, yeah, my wife leave me, she left me because of da 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 da. But I want persons to understand that, just as we this class said before, we want people to understand that it's very short-lived, because after a while people can get tired of your story.
Yeah.
It's like you played the card for so long. How many years you gonna go the pity me?
So I'll even say this. Whether it is how many years, how many months, or how many days, the part that gets me is when the pity me hits social media. It's like everybody knows your business. You want that level of attention. It's on Facebook. It's on this. It's on that. And I'm like, there is some time or some part of our lives that we should realize we are also professional people. We are also, but at the end of the day, it's like, are you throwing a party or something so I can be invited?
Oh my God.
A pity party?
A pity party?
Pity party.
Are you really throwing that party? Because at the end of the day, it's only so much people can take.
But a light bulb just went off in my head. when you said about the social media, you notice, guys, that the social media, oh my God, has become such a cultural norm. If I'm even watching American Idol, you have the grandfather was sick, the mother fighting cancer. You playing that victim to get persons to like you and vote for you so that you can win American Idol. They play the victim so well. And you would find that even like persons would post certain things just to get hearts or just to get likes or just to get followers. You know, so it's become such a cultural norm now, guys, where people really enjoy playing the victim. I don't enjoy those shows, those reality singing shows anymore, because there's always a sappy story. It's always when they take you back and they're like, oh, I had to give up my job just to be here and now I'm homeless.
You tug at people's heartstrings.
Yeah.
That's how you get what you want.
So that's what I'm saying. So now you play the victim so well, it has become a cultural norm. That's how I feel.
You know what kills me? Listen, I don't mean to sound like a bad person. But the people on social media who literally set up their phone and then fill their eyes with water to record themselves crying about something that's going on in their life. I am so sorry. I consider myself empathetic, but the fact that you turned on your phone versus speaking to someone who can actually help you, that pisses me off.
No, I agree. I mean, I don't think it pisses me off, but I'm
it
like,
pisses me off.
Yeah.
Because I don't like people who, like I said, the whole playing victim thing, it's cute for a while. You come to me today and you say, my girl, XYZ going on, boom, boom, boom. By tomorrow, I'll be like, and you don't think you part of the problem, my girl?
Yeah.
And then when you do that, you know, you're a bad person. You're victim blaming. How could you? That is triggering to me.
Somewhere in my mind, I'm just seeing myself playing the violin.
Okay, that's too big. That's gotta be tiny. We ain't got time for all that. Tiny violin.
Playing the violin, just hearing the stories.
They don't suck you in though? Like I've seen so much shorts, like so much YouTube shorts. I've seen so much different things. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, so that doesn't.
So
not anymore.
So this is what attracts me when, like testimony, when you are expressing your story and at the end of it there is a story that I can relate to, where I understand this is how you overcame something. All right? But if we are just spreading our business for that pity party, before we seek proper counsel, before we go to God in prayer, before we confront the situation or the person, outside of that, at the end of the day, what is the purpose of me airing my laundry if I am not seeking a solution? You understand? Again, somebody might say, well, that's the avenue I choose to seek the solution. But at the end of the day, I don't know what's going on in persons' brains or minds, but there is a difference when we are actively trying to do better, get better, seek some solutions, being accountable versus just letting the world know I'm going through this. Who's ready to jump on the bandwagon with me, with this pity party?
At this point, I just scroll through.
Yeah.
Because the last time I had a discussion with someone about it, the girl, she's in her car and she's crying and she listed all of these terrible things about her baby daddy. And from jump, he was a red flag. So she's listing all these things and she's crying and she's like, y'all don't understand. I want to off myself. So I was like, oh. So my friend is looking at me and was like, oh my God. How you gonna just be like, oh, I said if she really wanted to off herself, she would have.
Oh my God.
She really come on here crying about the baby daddy who was trash the minute she met him, and she stayed about 3 years, and now she's upset because he's trash. And on the internet talking about she wants to end it all. So she's not thinking about the children that she has with the trash. It's all about the trash and how he's making her feel. And you're on social media crying about, I want to end myself. I need, people don't understand. Y'all don't understand. No, girl, you don't understand.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, as I say, it's kind of ticklish because you don't know who really is a victim versus who playing a victim. So, and it's not for me to try to decipher
Subjective.
whether or not you're playing a victim. I probably would not say anything, and then when you look, they really do out themselves. But I don't know. One of the reasons why we decided on this topic is because, TJ, when you sit down and you look at relationships, most times when people have conversations, it always makes you suck in on their version of the story, and it kind of makes you wonder, guys, is this a part of relationships now? And I'm afraid to say it is.
It is.
Hasn't it always been, though?
It is a part of relationships. And I don't talk about kind of ship, as Henny would
Exactly.
say. Whatever type of ship that it is. Because as TJ keeps saying, accountability. We don't want to own up that we are at fault for something.
Right.
So I didn't get the promotion because my supervisor don't like me. You understand? These are things that are real. I didn't get this because, my I have mommy issues. Mommy did this or mommy did that to me when I was younger, Or I'm an alcoholic. I grew up seeing my father an alcoholic.
So it's not my fault.
So it's not my fault that I became an alcoholic. So all the different ships that we have in our life, we interject and we like to hide. I'm going to call it hiding. Even though some people might come forward with it, but I think we like to hide behind the fact that we don't want to take accountability for the things. It's my fault why I didn't get a promotion.
True.
Okay? Now, don't get me wrong. As I said before, there is a possibility that you are the victim. But because people have played it so many times. Listen, let me story time. This one is a real story. I have to say, right? But story time, no, real talk. My first trip to New York, my uncle scolded me because we're taking the Q train and we're going, I can't remember where the heck we were going, but I remember it was the Q train, and this guy comes in and he just has a card, like one of them cardboard box thing up, and he's talking about, I have not eaten for 2-3 days. Can you all give me money, or whatever? And I'm proceeding to go into my crossbody purse to give this gentleman some.
In New York, girl?
Well, listen, my uncle, when you're wait till you go home he did not even wait for us to go home.
So you get ragged up and
Right in front.
In the Caribbean with the
The
whip.
people. Right in front of the people them. My uncle made us think about it because it's like, again, as Janelle said, you play on the heartstrings. You understand? So people know that you're going to give when they see or they read this particular card or whatever. And my uncle say, most of these people have money. They take their lunch hours and they come down on the train, and then they go back to work. And they have money, and they might have probably in that one Q train rack up like $300, $400 on their lunch hour. So it kind of makes you feel like when the victims come, I don't think I'm authorized, to say whether you are playing a victim or not. But because it has become, everybody knows, I'm going to try to, it gets to the point of even scamming people. Like, you play the victim so long, you blame people for so long, where you feel if you say this, you're going to get help.
It's emotional manipulation. The sad part is, as a teacher, I see it with my students.
Really?
Yes.
They use this on you all the time?
They try. And then, like TJ was saying, you know, when it gets tired and they move on. So after a while, when I have to sit them down and be like, well, sweetie, you know, you need to do this, you need to do that, that's not what they want to hear.
Correct.
They just want to keep feeding on your emotions. They just want you to be like, oh my God, really? Oh, your mother is terrible. How could your mother do that to you?
Mm-hmm.
And then when you no longer give them the validation, they move on
To the
to
next
another teacher
To the-
who
oh.
doesn't know any better. Or you see them hanging out with certain friends and the friends stop talking to them. And then the friends will be like, teacher, I can't deal with you, you know, because it's always some problem.
And that's the thing. That's the thing. Because it's like you're dealing with this person and it's draining.
It is draining. It is draining. No, the flip side of all what we are talking about is when you now have internalized the story, and then you say, well, I'm going to do something about it in terms of, well, I'm going to talk to your mother this afternoon, or I'm going to talk to your friend or your boyfriend or your girlfriend. Oh, no. It's like, so you don't want a solution?
No.
You don't
No.
want... nobody wants that.
No.
There's no sympathy in solutions.
Yeah, they really and truly, guys, I'm being honest, like it's kind of jacked up. Why? I don't want the cure. I'm dealing with the symptoms. I prefer to deal with the symptoms.
Isn't that what Big Pharma does?
The who?
The big pharmacy companies?
Oh, yeah.
So let's now talk about signs. How can you identify that you play victim, or how can you? Because remember, I just said I don't have that radar. I suck. I don't get sucked in. No, real talk. I'm not gonna even pretend.
I guarantee you spend 6 months in New York. You come back a changed woman.
No, but I mean, like, for 2 seconds, like, literally, and I'm not exaggerating, for 2 seconds, I wanted to be a principal, right? Guys, I don't know if I would have lasted as a principal. Because it's like every sappy story. You know, like, when you hear stuff like, teacher, I didn't have anything to eat since yesterday. So it's like, how can we identify, how can we filter through the BS from what actually is real? What are some of the signs do you think that people will give? And, you know, again, let's think relationships first, and then we could branch off, you know, because even as a mother, I could think of a lot. Oh my God. I could think of a lot. But let's think relationship first. Can you all think of any kind of signal to say that person is being manipulative, as you see? Anything?
TJ, you start, because I think in my relationship, I might be the red flag.
I hear struggling right now. Come up with these signs.
Oh, okay, I'll start. I think I mentioned one already. The negative storytelling. You're telling a story over and over and over, the same story to the point where you believe it. No. So you tell this story over and over and over without moving towards
A resolution.
a resolution. Without moving towards. So it's like you enjoy. Never admitting your part.
That right there.
Never. Yeah, you. I think some of them even rewrite the history so that others can look bad. So I think that's why I'm saying when I'm
that's
thinking
the main
about
thing.
it,
That lack of accountability. Ooh,
yeah,
that's a stretch.
you make others look bad, but you look like squeaky clean.
No, that's true. But even pointing out what you just now said, the story. Tell you the truth, that is one of the things. I wouldn't say that I couldn't come up with that, but that's really what you hear all the time, the same story. And it always boils down to a story. At the end of the day, I mean, it's not about the clothes you wear, it's about the story you tell and how well you tell that story. That is what draws us in. Sometimes your story may not be uttered. It could be silence. How you look, how you perform, how you carry yourself. But, and I know we're not getting into that right now, but I'm going to say this. I think for me, I have to follow the story to the end. I have to, in other words, to verify. Because at the end of the day, I can hear the same story. You can call me with the same monotone kind of, and then I'm drawn in. Simply the fact where, do you have anything to eat? I'm drawn into that because I love to eat. I don't like to know that people aren't hungry. People are hungry. But if I follow through, why haven't you sought a job? What are the challenges did that?
Yeah.
So for me, like you said, the story. So whether it's a story with your eyes, your body, whatever it is, I think that's what draws us all in the story.
Yeah.
I can't shake outside of that. Tell you the truth.
Yeah, I think for me too, again, I'm going through in my head, still on relationships in my head though. If you're trying to date someone and they come and they talk about their baby mama, you know what I'm talking about.
We done.
You're talking about your baby mama. And you go through a whole list of things. You see what I'm saying? You're going through a whole list of things on what they did, what she did, what da. She listened to her mother. She did this, she did that, and that's why we're no longer together. And da. I think a sign to let me know that you are playing victim is that you never really ask the question, what could I have done differently? What could I have done differently? You are so hell-bent on saying, this is her, this is because of her, this is her. Everything is her. And it amazes me because one of the, the tips that they have when you're dating someone, you shouldn't really be talking about your ex. You know what I mean? You shouldn't really be talking about your ex because now this is telling me about you. A lot.
Unfortunately, a lot of people do not see it that way. That's a sad reality.
Because I would be like, nah, man, they really and truly enjoy playing the victim. And I know if you have to hear it from the same child mother, totally different story.
Different story.
Totally different story. And we sometimes, and I'm going to say this, don't come for me, but sometimes, guys, we believe the stories and we end up hating the child mother too.
Yeah, we do. It does happen.
Listen,
No, let's be real.
It does happen.
We end up hating the child mother too.
Well, not
it does
me.
happen.
I had an experience
Story time.
where the person who I was talking to, just totally unsolicited, started basically doing a compare and contrast. And what you just said about, when people do that, that's kind of like a no-no for you. That's not a no-no for everybody. That's why they do it. A lot of times people would do the compare and contrast and put you on a pedestal and make you feel like, oh yeah, she was trash. She was terrible. I would never do you like I did her because she wasn't worthy of that. So he's talking. And the one thing that came to mind, he said things like, oh, she did X, Y, Z. I mean, I'm not perfect, but, and it was back on her. So I told my girlfriend, and she seemed to be immediately sucked in. She was like, well, at least he took responsibility. I said, by saying I'm not perfect? Yeah. So those are the little things. So he's saying, he's putting that out there to, almost to say, well, I can take responsibility, even though he's not taking responsibility. Well, I went to play Inspector Gadget and find Homegirl on Facebook. And hello, sir, a date is an interview. So once we sit down and we have this initial interview, I could go check my references. Well,
wait. How you check references? The man give you references to check?
He don't have to give me. That's why I Inspector Gadgeted. From the time he introduced her into the conversation,
Correct.
she became, Exhibit A. Well, let me tell you, when she and I had, and mind you, me and the girl,
Wait,
cool
you
all now.
actually called her?
I messaged her on Facebook first, and then we exchanged numbers.
The number to call is 544-6677. I really would love to hear y'all. Just that's that little interjection right there. You think that Janelle, had the right to verify this victim? I want to hear what your thoughts are on this. You think that she should have followed through? I mean, they're just dating now, They're not in a relationship.
I wait until we married for this to pop up. I need to know I'm dealing with. No.
Do you guys agree with us? Hello. I asked the people to ask.
Call in, even if it's an opposing view. We'd love to hear it.
No, I really would like to hear what persons have to say because, yes, playing the victim is one thing, but then you went as far as verifying that they were playing the victim. So you didn't really take. So then, as the person now that you are supposedly dating, how should they feel?
Hold on. She ain't finished.
Okay, sorry. sorry.
No,
I interjected in your story. Go ahead. Go.
Anti having my time wasted.
Okay.
And I thank God that He gifted me with a spirit of discernment. It don't always work. I've been fooled a time or 12.
You have a partial gift?
Yes.
A time or 12.
But sometimes you hear things, and when we were talking earlier about, how do you know? You listen to people long enough, they start to tell on themselves.
Yeah.
So I'm listening to him, and I'm hearing the same thing. It's always, she did this and she did that.
Right.
And that's why I looking, and a girl like you and this. And so I already saw him doing the comparison thing. And I'm like, well, this girl really has no place in this new relationship. It's either you still in love with her or you're trying to gas me up, to get me to take you seriously. So, you've introduced her. Like I said, she became Exhibit A without even knowing that she was part of the case. So I messaged her and I said, hey, do you know so-and-so? And her first response was, Stroops, yeah. And her the follow-up was, what he do now? So I said to her, well, he and I are talking. And her response was, girl, run. Literally, those are the first few lines of text. So I said, LOL, tell me more. And
Okay, wait.
You saying wait? I want popcorn.
Because now in my mind, I heard his story. It's only right I hear hers.
Facts.
And
So then what happened if she playing victim too?
Well, if the both are playing victim, then even more reason for me to leave. Then they deserve each other. I'm going to help them get back together. And get out of the general population.
I was not messaging that girl.
What?
I was not, TJ. I am not going to lie. I was not going to message that girl.
Okay, so then where would the conversation have led? Because I'm the kind of guy that would say, so tell me about what led you to believe? And then I was asked questions like, so what are your weaknesses? Because you could tell me about the last partner, but what did you do? So I too was in a relationship and I was asked those questions and I didn't run from that. I did this in the relationship to help break it down, versus she. I turn it on me because, two could play the game. So at the end of the day, now, we could always say, some of the blame belonged to her, some of the blame belonged to him, but what are you going to be accountable for at the end of the day?
So I want us fast. How the story end up?
The reason why she and I still communicate to this day is because during the Put
your hand down.
During the conversation, I'd always tell her, she thinks like a man. That girl was never personal. She never attacked him. She never said anything like derogatory. It was simply, she's like, listen, he has issues, I have my own, but at the end of the day, I had to leave for my own well-being. She's like, you have to be a strong person to deal with him because he does have narcissistic tendencies, you know? And like I said, she was very cut and dry. It wasn't like, you know, oh girl, you know, he pee small, he did this to me, it was none of that. And I respected that about her. When she said she literally just had to walk away for her own well-being. She's like, somebody could deal with he. It just ain't gonna be me.
So ultimately what I'm hearing is that she still blamed him.
No,
For the way the
she- no,
relationship-
She told me some of the things she did as
Right,
well.
right,
Okay.
right,
You know?
right.
That's
But
what-
for her sanity, for her peace, it just made sense just to move
Because
on.
one of the things she did was she decided to join the CBG, the Cheat Back Gang. And
Henny, you heard that? Henny?
yeah.
CBG.
And when she did that, I guess she realized, you know, she didn't get the satisfaction that she wanted. That's when she realized it wasn't going to work.
Right.
Because she thought getting her lick back would make her feel better about all the things that he had done to her. And that's when she was like, you know, she just had to leave. She had to get away for her own sanity.
In other words, she was playing a game she wasn't prepared to
No,
yeah.
no, he played it better. He played it better. I was like, he ain't playing that with me. Because me not do that. Me not do that.
When you know that you have to stoop to that person's level and you are not a professional at playing in the mud,
Yeah, man.
you jump back out to that bad boy so
Okay.
quick you hear what I tell you because you realize down there ain't for you.
Okay. You leave that to the professionals.
Leave it to the professional.
That ain't
the
that ain't my
highway.
league. That ain't my league at all.
I mean, I'm still hoping. I don't have access to the YouTube chat, so I'm hoping that persons are giving their input because I really and truly, I think you're very brave.
Yeah,
And I
it
don't-
could have gone very differently.
Yeah, man, it really could have gone differently. But my thing about this, I'm even thinking about it through my eyes. If a woman called me to ask me about my ex, I don't know I can have no long conversation. I pause. That's just me. I mean, I don't know. I mean, everybody's not like just Janelle. But I don't know. TJ, you would have had a conversation with this person?
I ain't got no problem.
Yeah. Women have asked me before.
Listen, I in this class.
No, for real. Because at the end of this is how you would know I haven't moved on.
I am not having no conversation.
This is how you would know I haven't moved on. If the simple thought of the person's name coming into being makes me feel a kind of way that I can be like, what you want to know for? And be defensive, I haven't moved on from that person. That person still has a level of control over me and my thoughts. But at the end of the day, if I can entertain you for a while and say, okay, so why are you calling me? For what reason? I can determine from there whether this is going to be gossip or if this is going to be something else. You know, and if I could choose not to participate in the gossip part, because at the end of the day, you have a genuine question, I might have a genuine answer. So it's a give and take. It's a give and take. If that person have done me wrong, and the simple fact that I can't have a conversation because they have done me wrong, then I haven't gotten over the wrong. I haven't forgiven. I haven't moved on. You know, that's just how I am going to feel about it.
I don't know. I guess for me, everybody, if you're ever listener of Lovelink, you know that I have trust issues. You know I have trust issues.
And the reason why I say that,
So I would just feel like that conversation is a setup. So
I have had people-
I wouldn't feel comfortable because I don't know if I'm on speakerphone. I don't know.
That's why I don't ever say nothing that I don't want recorded.
right? I agree.
So
I have had
do
people.
with it what you will. I didn't say it.
I have had people, Jin. I've had people who I was interested in call an ex of mine to get background information on me, and then come back and tell me, I heard about you. I know about you. I know you's a dog.
Okay.
I know you's a this. I know you's a that. I like, okay, so tell me more.
Okay.
Because by they telling me more about myself, I could say, okay, I know who you get that information from. And then I could tell you a deeper story behind all of that.
Yeah.
I
And
gotta get
addition to the story, it's not like when she and I had the conversation, I went back and it was like, oh, so now I know. I had her information, I had his information, and I kind of watched it all play out. And I think the reason why I was comfortable calling her or messaging her, was because persons have asked me several times about people I've dated, even the father of my daughter. And there's a lot of things I could say about him, but at the end of the day, that's the father of my daughter. So my response is always, well, he's not for me, he might be for you.
Simple.
It didn't work with me, but
Right.
you might be the one.
Right.
Because I'm a firm believer in just because it didn't work out with me doesn't necessarily mean there's something wrong with them or me.
Right.
It's just
Everybody
saying-
just incompatible.
All right.
True.
Yeah.
True.
All right, we have a message on the chat. It says, as much as I would want to know, I ain't reaching out.
My need to know gonna be the death of me. My therapist told me that. He was like, you have this inquisitive mind. I said, just tell me I met it. Let's not sugarcoat it. But yeah, because stuff like that, it bothers me. It's always something in the back of my mind, and I'm like, I wonder. Some people I don't need another side
Right.
of the story, but I think it was the fact that his description was giving me pause. And I think she came up a little too often. So I needed...
I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
So if we have to go to the impact that it actually has on the relationship, tell me.
The impact. Give me some more.
Like what is the impact that playing the victim has? I mean, well, we saw the impact.
Well, it works
causes
for
you.
me.
It causes you to.
I'm hypocritical. It works when I do it.
Oh, no, but I meant in terms of we know that it caused her to become detective, right? What does the blame game do to relationships? If I'm always playing the victim. If I'm always playing the victim, tell me.
Well, I could say this.
What impact do you think that
I could say this. Outside of the one who plays the victim, I can say it becomes tiresome for the one who has to be listening.
It does.
For the other party who has to be the one being accused. It gets to the point where for some people, you really begin to believe that you're the problem.
Yeah.
You understand?
So it messes with you.
It messes with you. And I have seen that happen to some people where they crack. They crack. Some people do think on suicide because...
Or homicide.
Yeah.
Oh shucks.
Through. Because it plays on the psyche. It plays on the mind. It's like, I'm never no good. I'm always the one to blame. I'm always the reason why. And people get so crafty at turning it around on the individual. And you always see that sometimes with mothers. With some mothers who mightn't have certain tools, who are weak. Some children have gotten so crafty in turning things around on the mother, blaming the mother, why dad isn't there, blaming the mother for everything, even for their low grades. At the end of the day, it gets tiresome.
It does.
It's very tiring.
It is tiring. I'm gonna piggyback on that though. Like if I'm getting to know somebody, I'm dating TJ. And I'm realizing, okay, as you say, sizing up, but TJ is not like John, and every single time TJ does something, I'm like, oh my God, you are so much better than my ex. You're so much. Listen, I'm so sorry. I don't want nobody who gonna be constantly talking or comparing.
Compare and contrast.
And that's just that. also as a friend, you can be very draining because every time I'm talking to you on the phone, I don't leave light. I leave very heavy because it's like, no, I'm beginning to feel bad that I probably didn't help you. You just went through your whole sappy story and I did not help you. I have not thickened my skin as well as you yet. So for me, it's still kind of, and if let's be real, if you're dating, this man ain't gonna want to be wrong you. If everything is, you're just blaming others. Oh, my boss.
Right.
It's my boss' fault. Or my boss this and my boss that. Listen, I used to feel so sorry for my ex-husband. Because he would have to sit down and listen to so much stuff. That had to be heavy. Because at the end of the day, you want to spend time with your wife. You understand what I'm saying? And you coming home and you have to hear about other people. So that's why I say sometimes when you notice like wives and husbands hate the boss and the boss don't have a clue, because
I know so much about you.
I don't know about you, and it's like, okay, night number one, I let it slide a little bit. I love you. You know what I mean? 2 weeks later, every night, on week number 2, I still got hear about your bosses.
And then what's the sad part? The victim now, when the partner is like, babe, it's been 2 weeks. Oh, you don't understand. I'm dealing with all of this and still taking no accountability. Like, have you asked them about their day?
Their day.
It's been straight you and your stress for 2 weeks. But still, it's about me.
It's
I'm the
about
victim
me.
here.
Like, you don't listen.
Yes.
You're not paying attention to me. You don't understand.
Yes, I need someone who cares about me.
And on top of it all, persons who, whether it is the spouse, whichever spouse it is, who might be solutions oriented, and it's like, but you're not listening in how to overcome that.
And I got heard the story again. I don't get a solution like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
Like, where you coming back with this now again? Where you going with this? So it does put a strain on the relationship. And I am convinced, God can have to tell me different. But I'm convinced that's why a lot of people don't go home. They frequent the bars,
the strip clubs, the everywhere else.
Because it's like when you go home, you got
It's
to
not your safe haven. It's not your happy place.
Yeah. And I'm just, as I said, if this is your first time watching Love Link, one of the things that we do, we try our best. We're going to be in your face. We're going to let you know when you're doing stupidness. And you have to do some introspection to realize, am I doing this to my relationship? Am I playing the victim? Am I coming home every single day with my husband or my wife and I'm offloading? Am I ever at fault? You got to do your introspection. And that's why I said that this show is very important, because a lot of us hide behind, I don't even want to say deficiencies, because I think sometimes they don't even try to improve. I think they enjoy being the victim.
I think it is a deficiency because...
Do you think it's a deficiency?
Yeah.
To me, deficiency... Okay, go. Let me hear you.
I think it's a deficiency because you would actually have to know you're doing something wrong in order to... And like I said, in the beginning, while a victim knows right from wrong and they're choosing, I don't think they understand how what they're doing affects anyone else. So that deficiency is like a bit of empathy, maybe. I'm a big proponent of counseling, especially in relationships. I think that's why I'm single, because a lot of men don't like counseling. I'm serious. You're either getting help or you're getting left. That's how I feel, because I'm not going to wait until we're engaged and then we're doing the premarital counseling and then it's like, really? That's how you really feel? I don't think this going. I am very anti having my time wasted. So I feel a lot of these people haven't done the introspection, like you said. They really don't see that what they are doing affects other people negatively. They see it as all about me.
Offloading.
I'm the issue. You know, I'm not the issue. I need the help. And when I come to you, you should just listen and give me
You
help.
should just listen.
Yeah.
But no, you can't say
Sometimes
that
they don't
because
wanna help.
I going out for what
You're
he's
right. Just listen.
Just listen.
Just listen.
But no, I'm going for what you just say. I did offer help. Because, you know, men love that superhero cape, you know, whatever. I'm coming in, I'm going to save my wife.
That only
I'm going
lasts
to
for so
give you
long.
all the whatever. But then you still come back with the same
and that's the deficiency.
story.
That's the deficiency of the victim. Like
And it-
TJ said, they don't want the help.
And what people don't realize, it erodes the relationship after a while, you know? Because I'll tell you this, as much as most men might come in as the white shining, or
Knight in shining
the light
armor?
in shining armor, but that only lasts for so long.
Yeah.
Because the one thing men
Yeah.
don't like you're saying, is to be time to be wasted. Because you can't come to the same problem over and over. If a man is always thinking on solving the problem, and this is the same problem over and over, but it could be the same problem in many different forms. You understand? It's like, why am I here?
Okay.
Why am I here if you're not even taking the time to listen
So
to
one
move
way.
on? You know, and we keep playing this game. Look, most men will move on.
Would move on.
Most
yeah,
men.
he's not gonna want to come home. He's not gonna want
Exactly.
to be around you. He's not gonna want all
And it's
that.
not only moving. And for some men, they might move out. They might get rid of the relationship. For some of us who, you know, done married and stuff, we like,
Exactly.
But then the journey continues. You
It
realize
continues,
that
yeah.
because even if he moves out, you can be the victim. Oh, he move out on me, and he leaves me with all of this to pay and pour me. And guys, I have to do
And
all
he-
of this
he
by
know I'm
myself.
struggling, I need this
and
help, and he-
so it's like you compound. You make it worse by actually, you know, doing that. So now you end up with this, and I don't know if you would call it broken, because I don't know if it's broken. I don't know. If are
all of
you?
that
It is broken.
No, is it broken?
What is
included.
I'm not talking about the woman who's playing the victim. Is the situation, her situation, broken, or is? Let's put it this way.
I might not the
I
right
think
terminology.
the person is broken.
Do you think that's my question? You really think the person is broken,
Yeah, because they're deficient.
or they are making themselves broken?
Well, in their actions, they're continuously breaking themselves. And that might be the bigger issue there. But again, if you don't see it as a problem, then
Yeah, they don't see it as a problem.
the crack becomes a gape, and the gape becomes a split in, whatever. It over time, it's not just a break, it's a full-on cavern.
Yeah,
So
it's crazy.
you imagine
But
you come home every day, you telling your
every
husband,
day.
yeah, Susie always talking to me, and Susie this, and the man tell you from jump, tell Susie Jims,
Exactly.
and you come back tomorrow, Susie come talking to me again. I tell Susie to get her.
Yeah.
So after the third day, that man, and if that man, like we said, men, they want to, if you have a good man, that man wants to help you.
Help you.
And from the time that man tell you that, next week you're on your own, You be lucky if that man say, like you said, he might not come home. And before you know it, he always working late. And, I have nobody to talk to. But you're telling him the same thing, my girl.
Over and over.
Day.
So what you want me to do?
Every day.
What you want me to do? If
Stay out and drink rum. Come home when you
What
don't
is
sleep.
you want me to do?
So
You ain't listening to me.
No.
Yeah, correct.
What is it you want me to do?
Correct.
You just want to be here in your sub story morning, noon, and night. For
Morning,
God and
noon,
heaven's
and
sake,
night.
go sit down.
But in that
Go sit down.
situation, I have been, guilty of that as well. A lot of times when people play victim, like TJ say, they don't want a solution. And unfortunately, a lot of times, women, they want men to respond to them like other women. So they're gonna come home and they're gonna, you know, and so and so and so and so. TJ gonna be like, tell Susie Jims. And I'm gonna be like, yeah, but you know, if I say that to Susie and you know what, I still have to work with her. And you find there's another issue after that. And he's like, my girl, you could have solved the issue long time by telling Susie, leave you alone. You're going to walk to be, you know, productive, not to make friends. Like, what are we doing here? So now she gone to her girlfriends, you know, TJ doesn't understand. I try and talk to TJ and TJ, you know, and he really don't understand what I'm going through. And I'm like, girl, that's your man, not your girlfriend. What, like, pick your poison.
And sometimes it's best that they hear it from their girlfriend.
No, but I'm telling you, they're going to still take the
some.
Listen.
You get a girlfriend like Henny going to tell you straight.
No, but no. Even though Henny can tell it to you straight, she's still going to be loyal to me, though.
Yeah, she's going to be loyal
and
to you.
And because she's loyal to me, she still would basically say, man, that pizza. You know? And I've been in situations, you know, even personally, you know, when I've moved on, I don't know. I've heard persons say, if I have to see that person, I would give them a piece of. But you don't know their side of the story.
Yeah, that's
you don't know. You don't know why they left. You don't know why they whatever. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like at the end of the day, for me, I would never condone that because they did this to me. They didn't do it to you.
Correct.
You know, but people have played that blame game for so long that it's like, yeah, persons tend to feel sorry for you. And if you have these so-called loyal girlfriends, they're going to believe the story that you were feeding them all the time.
I ain't loyal to the point of stupidity.
You know, so I think a lot of it has to do, you know, so we spoke about resentment. A lot of it has to do, to me, also with not being able to communicate properly. Because I can get past what happened this morning? You told me that you were going to get, you had to do so and so and so, and then the excuses come. And when the excuses come, you start blaming everybody, including the same Susie. And when you come to find out, nothing to go so. The story was actually different where you were defiant or you were disrespectful or you snapped at the wrong client or you understand what I'm saying? But you're going to basically say, my boss didn't like me. You know, and you have to sit down, you have to listen to all of that. So communication is a two-way. So I think it would be a lack of communication as well because I'm just talking for talking. I'm talking for you to just feel sorry for me, but I'm not talking to improve. I'm not communicating to basically grow. I'm just talking. So I think the communication definitely needs to improve in a situation like that.
Communication is a lost art, and unfortunately, we're raising sociopaths.
Listen. Don't even talk about that. I manage young people on a Friday night. I have about 22 strong on a Friday night. And I just basically said, okay, guys, sell yourself to me. Tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me what you like, what you don't like. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Whatever. You know they can't do that?
Yeah.
They still were ChatGPTing.
Yeah.
For real?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Listen,
oh
the first
yeah.
day of school when you ask the children to talk and
they
tell you
don't
something,
communicate.
they don't even know what to tell you.
Yeah, they don't communicate. But I give all the checklists on what I wanted you to talk about. You know? So yeah, I wanted to end the thing with impact on blame game. So we're done with the impact on blame game?
Yeah, we're done with it.
Stop raising sociopaths. Parents, you are responsible, okay? Because when they go out into the world and become semi-functioning members of society in relationships, etc. Yes, I'm talking to you. Okay? Stop there's nothing wrong with making your child feel like they are special, but it cannot be special to the detriment of everyone else. Okay? Telling your child they're special is one thing. Creating a complex of superiority
Agreed.
is quite another.
Agreed. But I want to talk about it when we come back.
Okay.
So we are going to take a quick little break. Do not go anywhere. Stick and stay. We will be right back. Don't forget what you're saying.
At Higher BVI, we're not just about business. We're about empowering lives. And that is because we aspire to inspire. By choosing us, you're supporting a company that believes in equal opportunities, diversity, and community growth. Our mission goes beyond profit. It's about providing HR solutions, fostering talent, and leaving a positive impact. Join us in building a better future, a better BVI. Choose Higher BVI, where your support isn't just a transaction, it's a transformation. Together, we're changing lives in these beautiful Virgin Islands.
Attention all music lovers, are you ready for a trip down memory lane? Well, keep it locked to Signal 284 on Thursdays for all the best throwback hits. Get ready to relive the classics and dance to the beats of the past. Starting from 8 a.m. and going strong all day. The Signal 284 is your destination on Thursdays. Whether you're driving, working, or just chilling at home, we've got the perfect soundtrack for you. So don't forget, it's Thursdays on the Signal 284. We promise to take you back to the good old days.
All right, so we are back. That was a short time, right?
It was.
It really and truly was. All right, so this is your girl Lola alongside
Your boy T to the E to the J, alongside.
It's just Janelle.
filling in for
Hennessy.
Our topic for tonight?
The blame game, the culture of playing victim.
The blame game, the culture of playing victim. So if you're just tuning in, we've discussed quite a bit, but I told Janelle to stick a pin in something, and I just want her to unpin it, and let's go back there because we want to talk about it not just in terms of relationships, but now we want to get into the parenting and the coworker. So talk to me.
So we were talking about the role that parents are playing in the blame game. And, you know, parents, I don't want you to see this as me blaming you, although I kind of sort of am. But as a parent myself, I know this because this is something, again, I've been guilty of. I can't take myself out. But you have to be very careful how you instill praise in your child. Of course your child is special. Of course your child is, you know, amazing. But a lot of times we give our children these participation trophies and make them feel superior for doing less than the bare minimum. And then as parents, when we need to understand everything that we do is shaping that child.
Correct.
When parents go into the schools and argue with the teacher, you know, because their child said XYZ, they don't care what the teacher has to say. You have just kind of started the creation of a monster. Because now, this child, well, I'm never wrong. And if anybody tell me anything, mommy, she gonna be at their throat. So this child grows up now, and I'm never wrong. I'm never responsible. Anybody say anything? No. You could prove it. You could, those kinds of, the same people you see on the Karen crash outs on YouTube, those are the people whose parents never told them no, whose parents never corrected them, whose parents gave them participation trophies and made them feel superior to everybody else. So a lot of these things, like TJ said earlier, they're created. And
That's scary,
sadly,
though.
It is.
It is very, very scary.
Because already, when you look at the students in the schools, some of them as young as in the primary schools, like you said, when they're tugging at your heartstrings, some of them, there's really no issue.
Right.
True.
Right.
True.
Right.
So where did they learn this?
Right. I agree. But to me, I feel like it would create a lot of tension within the classroom. Because now I don't have a mom who's going to come in and fight my battles for me. But you gain favor, you gain treat different because you have this.
Well, I ain't afraid of parents, so
soft
you ain't
spot.
getting you ain't getting no treatment from me.
You know, and it's sad because I always say it on this show. They're young now, but they have to grow up to be adults and they will have children. And the cycle continues. The cycle gets worse and worse. So we're creating a lot of play victims.
Again, when persons start from so young, now that they're older, now that they are working, it's hard for them to be accountable.
Yeah, like how do you be in a relationship with somebody? Like how do you become in a relationship if you've mastered this from youth?
The thing about it is how persons end up changing is when other persons call them out on it.
You think so?
Yeah, it's gonna take some time.
It has to be the
Because
right person.
and it might be the right person, but at the end of the day, it is when someone can recognize what they're doing and really and truly pinpoint exactly when and where and why. So when you can now see through somebody and now call them out on it, and you keep calling them out on it, they have no other choice at some point in time, because at some point everybody else is going to realize that I now see what TJ is seeing, I now see what Renee is seeing.
Believe you.
No.
Everybody's not at that maturity level to
Maybe
take
not.
the introspection check.
Maybe not, but there are times when you look, anybody, them know now to think twice on dating you.
Hello.
You understand? They know now to think twice on dating you because you recognize it and you call it out. It's just like even at work, when you recognize something that somebody has a pattern, and you could tell it's a pattern. When you can recognize that that's a pattern and consistently say, no, you have a pattern and this is your pattern and this is your modus operandi. You understand? Then is when you can really and truly say, no, you could run that game on somebody else.
Not me.
But it ain't gonna fly with me. But people have to now realize you're on to them when it comes to that. That only happens at a point where you've had enough and you're seeing the pattern and you're calling a spade a spade. Simple.
Yeah, I don't know. I just see all these things as red flags. I see them as red flags. When you don't own up, all the things that we just went through. When you don't own up, when you don't want to basically try to change because you thrive on the victim mentality, I don't know.
Look, you have
I
a
don't
problem.
know.
You blame the landlord or the landlady for the rent.
Yes.
You blame that you know nobody's telling you at work and you're
Yes.
working extra hours.
Yes.
You blame everybody. You end up being with another woman for extra money, and then that woman realizes what's going on. You blame her too. You understand? so at the end of the day, when you're gonna take responsibility that the salary you're getting, you're supposed to be managing that properly.
Yes.
You
Don't have
understand?
23 women.
So at
Sorry.
the end of the day, you're going back to mom, you're going back to dad, you're going back to the girlfriend. You want to travel with the family, but you ain't got no money, so you're borrowing money from a friend, but you don't want to own up to the fact that you're a bad spender.
Correct.
You don't save your money.
Correct.
Come on.
Correct.
At the end of the day, somebody have to put on their foot and say, no, You don't have money to travel? Stay home.
Stay home.
You don't have money to buy food? Well, go hungry. Because only then you're going to find
Ain't nothing
out.
like that.
We talking about TJ here.
You know, but at the end of the day, somebody has to draw a
Be
line
in
in
your
the sand.
face. They have to be in your face to tell you butchers what he said.
You understand? Because no, sometimes we might say, okay, some people might lash out, and what was supposed to be private comes into public, right? Sometimes that isn't good.
Right.
But sometimes you have to know, call a spade and say, listen, I done with you. You're a leech. You're not only a leech, you're a this, you're a that, but we sometimes still have to sit them down because, honestly speaking, I used to tell people, I listen to people all the time, and then I would say, okay, let's sit down and do a budget.
Right.
You don't see how much time, you know? You don't see my time. And sometimes you take your time, you do the budget, and you show them step by step how this thing's gonna happen, what you can do.
Right.
Only people who have reached bottom, they may ain't got nowhere else to go.
Nowhere else.
No, because nobody's telling them now. Only those persons sometimes really and truly begin to take the advice and then begin to rise up. Because at some point, the individual has to say, look, I myself done, and I want to end this cycle of doing the same thing over and over and over again. Because even to some people, I've heard some people who used to play the victim game say they're exhausted. They themselves have become exhausted of themselves because now they realize that people aren't to them.
But I don't know, TJ. I hear you. But that's the strong ones. Those are the strong ones. I think the weak ones will continue to wallow. They will not try, no matter even if you put the mirror in their face. I honestly feel that they would stay. They
Let's
would
just say
stay playing the victim, whether even if they have to go back on mommy couch. I'm telling you, they would still.
And that's just something else for them to complain about.
Yeah, they will not do any better. They will collect unemployment checks. You set them up with interviews and they didn't go. They really enjoy staying in the victim. And to me, that shows a lot of dysfunction. And we have a lot of people out there who are so dysfunctional. And these people become parents.
But that level that you're talking, there's an actual psychological term for that. I'm trying to remember what it is. But that's an actual psychological issue where you would get, because most people, like TJ said, unless they hit rock bottom, because while you're still floating, you feel like, there's something below you before you get to the ground. So you feel there's time. So you keep doing the same thing. Because a lot of people don't have follow-through skills.
Right.
So then it's only when they hit the ground. For most people, it knocks sense into them. But others, like you say, they back on the couch. That's just something else for them to complain about. Oh, my boss have a problem with me. Oh, he want TJ to be so I had to leave because then people ain't gonna disrespect me. And them Yes, people have actually left jobs in this economy and complain about the people at the job, how it's their fault, they don't like them, and I ain't gonna be fake with them people, and also nonsense. So now you home on mommy couch, something else to complain about, and you collect your unemployment, you whatever, and it's everybody else's. It's a psychological, and as soon as I remember, I'll tell you. But that right there is the height of scary, because like you said, when you produce offspring, you can only pass on what you know.
And that's why I say and the saga continues.
So I'll say this. I still have to big up some of the guys who I know who came to me, let's say looking for a job. Most of the guys who came to me admit, look, to where they are, to where they were. And some said, look, I know I don't have a big education. I dropped out of school, X, Y, and Z. I have children, right? And some people even go to the extent to say, look, I am not into illegal things. What I am looking for is not a PD party.
Not a handout.
I'm actually looking at a job. you know, and then so sometimes, you know, sometimes it's very hard to even state, well, almost any and everything done in government, you have to have a high school diploma for now. And not only that, based on the area, you have to have an associate's degree at the least.
At the least.
Right.
So you do have some people who will say, look, I might be too far gone. And they would admit, one guy admitted, look, I can't read. You understand? I really can't read. But he's willing to learn. I would respect guys like that.
That's what I say. You have to be
You
strong.
have to. You
have to be strong.
And the flip side is many of us don't want to be vulnerable to say, this is where I am. This is where I am, but I am willing. I am willing to go the extra mile. The problem is sometimes out there, we don't have an organization. We don't have that can help guide people in the right way. And I don't know which departments that falls under, but at the end of the day, there are some of those guys and women who would tell you straight up, they're not going to pay the victim. They genuinely are looking. Right. However, they realize that because they don't have a high school diploma, they don't have a tertiary education, the chances for them are slim. They're slim. And then there are those who would say, look, I've been to prison. I learned my lesson. But the reality is, where it doesn't have anything out here for me. So the flip side now is, in prison, you get 3 meals, despite of how hard it is. And that's where now...
He had here. That's a place to be.
No, man, it has been hard because sometimes you the level of freedom is not there.
Right.
So where even though families are able to support still through the prison system, you don't have the ability to come and go as you wish and as you feel. You know, so for some, when they come out, yes, I am willing to join the government to talk to students to say detour from this path. But at the end of the day, they still don't have a job. They still can't find ends meet. They still have to take care of the children. You know, so it is like there's a thin line between a life of crime and the life of, you know, being true. So where do we now say, like we said, a lot of people play the victim game.
Oh yeah.
But that's a real victim.
But
right
a
there.
lot of people, you know, they really trying. Where do we go from there?
But I don't think that person is playing victim.
No, that's a real victim.
Yeah, I don't think that person is playing
real.
victim. But I do have a message, and it says, good night. I honestly believe our society has a lot of mentally ill people walking around, much of them in denial. I can respect a difference of opinion, but some of us really need to find a coach to stretch out on. We all know better, but yet just look at some of the things so-called mates accept and put up with from each other.
We can jump on that floating vessel, the relationship. Because when we were talking about the emotional draining and whatnot, and TJ talked about, you know, having that conversation and you tell the person and whatnot, you can't help people who don't think they need help. Number
That's
one.
what I say. What TJ was describing was strength. That's growth. Because nobody, just as you said, you have to want to come out of the funk.
And in relationships, to the person's, I guess, to their credit, they're absolutely correct. A lot of people tolerate things. You would hear people, they go to their friends and, oh, you know, she's this, he's that. And my response always, but you're there. So then my friends don't talk to me about their relationships anymore, you know. Because like I said, given enough time, my friends know how I operate. I'm empathetic to a point because I refuse to let you be an emotional vampire. You're not gonna suck the best of me out of me. I got things to do. So you come to me, My girlfriends don't tell me nothing but cheating boyfriend. I say, if you ain't gonna leave him, let a man cheat in peace. He talking to you all kinds of way. If you ain't gonna talk back to him, let that man tell you about your mother.
Ouch. Ouch.
No, but seriously, after a certain point, if we continuously having this conversation and it is the same thing, oh, you know, he did it again. You know, I find a message in his phone from another girl. I said, are you gonna leave? We have the house and, you know, the baby only 2 years old. I said, well, let that man cheat in peace, because you ain't going away.
Crazy.
And that is what the caller is talking about. People tolerate so much. They see the deficiencies. They know, like she said, we have a lot of people, and I've said that all the time. I even made a comment about why don't we have psychological evaluation when children are coming into high school? Why don't we know what we're dealing with?
I mean, I think we know, but sometimes they don't share. What they need to do is share it with the teachers.
We only
They can't share
do
with
that
everybody.
when we see something. We don't do it beforehand. So when we see that this person is,
We are not a proactive society.
No, we're not.
we imit it enough.
No, we are admitted, but it's all about just spreading the
Yeah.
gossip. It's not about finding the
For the
solution.
betterment.
Yeah.
But I mean, I hear you guys, and it's just it kind of makes me. I might get cussed for saying this, but it kind of makes me feel bad for who's looking out there,
Tell me about it.
because, and even with some of the relationships that we do have, unfortunately, you know, the blame game, we have to be very careful with pointing fingers. We shouldn't be just always blaming our significant other. We shouldn't always be blaming our children. We shouldn't always be blaming. It's like everything, every single thing. And if you are doing that tonight, I need you to shift a little bit. So maybe we should discuss some healthy alternatives, like things that how to put it, TJ? Because we always like to end the show on a positive. We just identified a bunch of bad. Now, how do we leave them with something? Because, I mean, it's not about kiki kaka. You know, that's my mantra right there. We have to walk away learning something. This show has taught me so much since I'm doing this show. I have grown so much. I may not be at elemental P, but at least I'm at F. You understand? So it's like we have to decide now, because I think I've played the victim a lot of times. I wouldn't say that I enjoy being there, because I don't like people feeling sorry for me, or you doing something because you feel sorry for me. I like things to come from a pure place. You understand? You do it because you want to do it. Don't do it because I sucker you into doing it for
I like
me.
being coddled occasionally.
So for me, I'm a little different. I like it, but after a while, I would cut it off. Some people have lived with it all their lives. I'm
That's
like
their
this because
personality.
my mother has me so. I'm like this because I have a troubled childhood. I'm like this because my boss doesn't like me. I've heard it. I mean, when I sit down and I listen to my girlfriends speak, and I listen to my, my male friends speak, it's always, I don't care the gender. The gender is irrelevant. People just like playing the victim. So for us now to end on a high, what are some healthy alternatives that we can give these people to gradually catch yourself and don't stay in that victim mentality? What can we do? You have to admit it first.
I was going to say, that's the first thing you have to do. You got to be like
first
Michael
thing.
Jackson. You got to deal with a man in the mirror.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer in writing things down. I journal, I keep things. And I think what everybody should do, when you have an issue, whether it's with a emotional partner, a work colleague, or whatever, when you have an issue, it's all fine and well. Go ahead, vent. Write all the things that they've done. But then right underneath, start on you. And sometimes you would realize your list probably longer than their list.
If you're being honest.
If you're being honest. So that's the key right there. Be honest with yourself. Because what did I say? The only person you could fix is you.
Correct.
So all the issues you
Correct.
have with Susie, you can't fix Susie. But
Fix
what
you.
can I do about me so I could deal
Correct.
better with Susie?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
So I love what you're saying. I had a roommate from Indonesia, and in college he always asked me why. Every time I gave him an answer, he goes back to that one question: why? Why? So the more, take for instance, if you realize that someone is playing the victim, ask them the questions: why? Why such and such is happening to you?
Right.
And as they answer that, ask them why again. Because at some point, it's going to boil back down to you, to the individual. You know, and then because for me, I've had to steer people in the direction of taking responsibility. You know, I always tell people about my past, and when the lawyer told me to give her a timeline of the demise of my marriage, I could have easily point a finger. But in the timeline, I answered the questions why. Why I was the one. Even though it's a two-way street, I took responsibility for where we were. Let that other individual find their responsibility and take responsibility for what they were responsible for. So ask yourself the question, why am I always playing the victim? Why am I this? Now I'm coming from that perspective as the person who is always trying to play the victim. Why?
Right.
From there now, once you can understand why you have been playing it, and you want to not play it anymore, begin to do those things that will allow you to be accountable for your actions. And then change. Change isn't always rapid. It's not all, because after 20 years of doing something, it's going to take a while for you to, you know, because really and truly, when it comes to change happens because of a habit. If you continually do your best to change, you will. So ask yourself the questions, why? And always make it your way to really and truly find those tools to be a better person. That's the only way how you can get over this victim thing that we are talking about. Asking yourself those questions.
Honestly.
Honestly.
And actively turning things around. But for that person who recognizes that their friend is also being the victim, snap them out of it. Because the more we coddle somebody, the deeper down they go in the rabbit hole. The deeper down they go. So
we
call a
we call it
spade
enabling?
a spade.
Yes.
Call a spade a spade.
Enabling. For me, I feel that just like how I got suckered in, I think they themselves should show empathy or practice empathy. Look at it through somebody else's eyes. And I feel if they look at it through somebody else's eyes, then it would not be oh, poor me. You know, because they would realize that they have it good, that they have it way better than other people. So if I feel if they practice empathy, because I'm still thinking about oh, my boss don't like me. Who tell you your boss don't like you? You know, and you notice I keep going back to that because that is something that I hear a lot about, you know, like from my male friends. They're always talking about, oh, I didn't get ahead because, you know, my boss doesn't like me and my suppression and da da da. They like, you know, and I had to listen to them and I'm like, but who tell you your boss don't like you? How you know for your last interview you didn't mess up or you said some dumb crap that caused you to not get the promotion.
Maybe your work is subpar.
Or maybe you know, as I said, you don't respect authority, you don't meet deadlines. I mean,
All
the
those little
list can
things.
go on and on and on.
True.
You know, but you are going to just equate it as my boss don't like me.
And the thing about it is, we don't even have the courage to go and ask the boss.
Oh no.
What, how can I?
We assume.
Yeah,
You
but
know?
they don't want that. They want to be able to hide behind the fact that I tried to get a promotion
Right?
and I didn't get you because of you.
Right. So,
Not me.
what we are
But
saying, what I'm saying now is, all right, if you feel that way, go to the fountain and ask the
And
question.
ask the question.
And then you can hear whether the answer is legit or if they're talking a bunch of wakataka.
Yeah, and it removes blame. Like to me, it removes the blame because what you were thinking might be so far
Right.
from the truth.
True.
So it removes blame, so you can't say it's my boss's fault anymore because now you realize, oh crap, I kind of did say that during the interview. You know, so it is clear. I'm agreeing with you that, you know, you should have that open communication.
Yeah, you should. And I think, and honestly speaking, I do that with some members of my staff, of my team. I will go to them and I will say, evaluate me as a leader and give me the brutal truth. Because I need to know how you see me, you know, so I could better myself. And my wife holds me accountable for
she should.
for things like that. Because as we converse daily, you know, and if I'm coming up with a ton of stuff and she's like hearing the same thing over and over and over, she's like, look, you are wrong
Yep.
for that. I'm not citing you on that.
Yep.
You understand? You need to consider doing this because I know how you are, I know who you are, I know whose you are, and I know you could do better. So at the end of the day, she doesn't coddle, and I don't again promote that. You know, have a listening ear, listen, but be solutions oriented.
Correct. Yeah, I like that. And I think that still comes back to what Janelle was saying pertaining to parenting. You know, you come on, guys. Tell them they're wrong. If they're wrong, tell them that they're wrong so that they can now work on improving themselves. So once they see you do, and you cause them to do as well, because you're not gonna ask them to do something that you yourself ain't doing.
Correct.
So once they see you do, and you ask them to do what they're doing, they will have to join the bandwagon and realize, listen, this is really, really bad.
That's how we
You know?
become stronger. You know, my wife always say that our problems in life is that we don't want to confront or have those difficult discussions. The more we have difficult discussions, the better we will get at communicating. We only want to have surface discussions and deal with the surface issues.
Because it's easy.
And it's easy, and take the Tylenol and the Advil for those symptoms that we can see on the surface. But we don't want to peel back the Band-Aid or peel back the scar and let the wound bleed so it could heal properly. So the more we pacify, the longer it's going to take for us to overcome. You know, so I'm just going to stay right there.
I actually am going to piggyback on that. I actually like that. So remember I was speaking about the past traumas. They have to heal from that too. All right. Yes, I'm sorry your dad was an alcoholic. I'm really sorry. But that doesn't mean that you have to become an alcoholic. So you have to do your healing from past traumas so that you don't use, should I say, victimhood as a weapon.
Or, you know, or have it as a crutch.
As a crutch, you know, and it's sad, but guys, I don't know. I think I'm with Janita on this. I'm not going to waste my time trying. I'm not a construction crew.
Okay.
I'm not
I don't even look good in orange.
I'm not a construction crew,
So
guys.
jail ain't for you.
Stripes either.
All right, guys, we have a call. We have a call. All right, good night. You're on Love Link.
Love Linkers.
Hi.
Hey,
Good night, what I was saying.
be blessed, my brother.
We did it.
My quick half a cent.
Oh, not even 2 cents.
In relationships, friendships, whatever kind of shit you're on. And it's a little what TJ was just saying. We gotta stop sugarcoating.
Yep.
And a lot of times, here's what we do. We do so much we worrying about, well, if I tell them this harsh truth, they're going to feel like this or that. So we stay away from telling them the harsh truth. But what we don't realize is all we're doing is infesting that wound more and more and more by sugarcoating and covering up. That's my little 2 cents. Sometimes the truth is to be known.
Facts.
Serious on, hard slap. This is what it is, and this is what we need to do. Yeah, she laughing. All right. Again, good night.
A week.
Listen, again, if you're an avid listener of the Love Link show, you know that Lola's mantra, well, I have many, but you know my mantra is the truth is not to be known at all times. So you see why he interjected that last piece there about, you have to tell the hard truth.
No, but he just said something because during our conversation, I'm looking at it from the point of we coddle because we don't want them to feel bad. But a lot of times we coddle because if they feel bad, then we feel bad too. So it's not just us helping them, we do it for us too. Like you said, in relationships where people don't want to have the hard conversations, it's not that you are worried about hurting them. You don't want to deal with those emotions either.
Facts.
So you leave it alone.
Facts.
And then it festers.
It festers, yeah.
Yeah. So it's both sides. It all comes back to me.
Yeah.
I ain't so much worried about hurting you. I just ain't trying to deal with it either.
The whole thing, I don't have an Uncle Fester to give me out of nothing. Right? So at the end of the day, I happy that I am able to get things off my chest. And wifey and I are solutions oriented. We
I love that for you.
Everybody's not like that.
Might not be
At
like
all.
that, but at the end of the day, it takes people time. It's over time we get to this stage. When you are tired of pity party, when you are tired of blaming others for what you is responsible for, there's a time and a place, there's a season, the Bible says. And the season has come when all of us will be held accountable and should be held accountable. And at the end of the day, if you say you was my friend, hold me accountable.
Exactly.
Don't pacify nothing. Hold me accountable, because at the end of the day, it is more than me I have to answer to or for. So who we playing games for? Why are we playing games? At the end of the day, don't this blame nonsense thing.
Yeah.
I tell people being a friend doesn't mean I'm lying to you and telling you what you want to hear.
No more.
People are like, oh, you and your daughter are friends. I said, yes. A friend is someone who corrects you. A friend is someone who guides you. So I have no problem calling my daughter my friend. There are levels to the friendship. She is my girlfriend. I'm not saying things to her that I would say, but my daughter is my friend. And we have a beautiful relationship.
Wonderful.
She can tell me anything. And so when it comes to the friendships, we need to be able to tell our friends the truth. Like the caller said, you have to. Because we are part of the problem.
We are part of the problem.
The
monster.
sociopaths. We talk about, we don't want to hurt their feelings. But she come to you with the same problem 16 weeks in a row. And you over there, girl, yes. I can't believe they said that to you. Your boss is terrible. Meanwhile, you know in your heart of hearts, that girl going in there raising hell in the people in the workplace every day. But she gonna come ball to you because
you're going to listen and you're going to enable her at the end of the day. So I hope that this show definitely helped. I know it helped me because I do play. So you just have to catch yourself real quick and come out.
And stop
of
putting
it.
things on social media.
You know, Yeah, I mean, yeah. You to me, you just have to catch yourself, and come out of that victim mentality, because it doesn't really help. It doesn't really help you to grow. It doesn't help you to be who you are. And as I said, you have to know the difference between being a victim and playing a victim. Okay, and I mean, one of the things that Lenny always says is, if we're gonna be honest, and if I'm gonna be concentrating on making sure that you're good, and you're concentrating on making sure that I'm good, then we know that the relationship would be good. But most times we have the tunnel vision. We can't see past our own noses, and that's where it comes in. The I, and poor me, and that's, to me, I find, where we get a lot of different issues. And when you start to blame people, it's not my fault, especially when you're out in public. Oh my God, that's even worse. You can't come now and show your people them under the bus. That's your people. So I feel that even blaming and pointing the fingers, where other people know, or other people overhear you, or witness it live and direct, because we don't got no style sometimes. It will destroy your relationship.
Definitely. It's not what you do, it's how you do it.
Yeah, it will destroy. I don't care what relationship it is. Your son, your coworker, your god sister. It would literally destroy your relationship. So nobody wants to be blamed. I don't want to be the recipient. You're not blaming yourself. So who you blaming, Amy? So I don't want to be the recipient. I don't want to be the recipient of, whatever it is that you're doing. You don't want to own it, so you're throwing it on me. So again, that's going to erode, whatever it is that we have. And if we're going to be love linkers, we kind of have to be in your face to let you know, stop your whack attacker. Wise up, do whatever it takes. That, forget about, poor me, and say, what could I have done differently? What could I have done differently? Yes, I might not have done a really good job at my past relationship, but what can I do differently now? Those are the things when I'm thinking, and if I'm talking to my girlfriends, yesteryear was yesteryear. What are you going to do now? Because we all know the definition of insanity.
Doing the same thing over and over.
We have to
expecting a different result.
We have to move forward, grow, progress, so that we can be examples to the little ones that are watching us.
Yeah.
So that's my take on everything. Let me make sure nobody has been messaging me, because I have my phone on Do Not Disturb. And last week, I got a really nice one, but I didn't get to read it. All right, so I don't have any messages. So I guess Persis was just taking it in tonight, and that's fine.
Awesome.
But I do have Henny's take. And she says, blame may feel easier in the moment, but it keeps us stuck. Healing and growth come when we choose responsibility over excuses and truth over manipulation.
Preach.
Scripture reminds us in Galatians 6:5, for each will have to bear his own load. In other words, we are each called to carry our part, own our actions, and walk in honesty. Relationships are strongest not when we point fingers, but when we extend grace, take accountability, and build trust. So instead of playing the blame game, let's play the growth game, where love, truth, and responsibility lead the way.
Well, damn.
I'll drink today.
Yes.
So that was Henny's take on it, because she's been listening.
Awesome.
So she did her little piece. She's working tonight. That's why she couldn't even get a call in, but she was able to still weigh in thanks to WhatsApp. Since she doesn't have any level of I-ness.
Words of wisdom.
But we're not going to
Well, you
talk
gotta
about
say it like
that. But thank you so much for that, Henny. That was well said. I don't have to say a thing else after that.
That's it.
If you have any friend, any family member, any coworker that you feel that can benefit from this episode, like up, love up,
Share up.
share up. Let persons know about Love Link. We are usually here on Sundays, and we're just ordinary people having ordinary conversation. And I really did enjoy it tonight. The class of 2008 to us. They ain't to us. You know what I mean?
We're gonna let you pass on that one.
Yeah.
So I can't blame them for anything. Let's put it that way. Y'all did You did good. You did good. You did
Aight,
good.
she says. Aight.
Alright.
Okay.
All right. So we will basically, with that now, unless y'all have anything else to say, no.
I mean,
I
Henny,
think
good.
Henny,
Henny, she summed it up.
Henny
she sure
summed
did.
it up. Henny summed it up. So with that being said, we will say good.
Night.
Oh, sorry, I'm still learning. You think I would know better by now, right?
But I don't say good night, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, we kind of sing it. We kind of sing it in a way.
I can't sing, so I'll just mouth it. You wouldn't embarrass me on the.
Oh my gosh.
So wait,
All
so
right.
that's the only thing we are allowed to sing? Something?
That's the only time we are allowed to sing.
You know what? Good night.
So with that, we say good night.